This is an area close to the French-Belgian border known throughout the world as the Western Front. In 1914, it was a 450-mile-long defensive line that ran from the northern coast of France to the Swiss border. It's a place deeply marked by terrible loss of life, and yet not all of the many thousands who died during the Great War did so as a result of enemy fire.
They chose a lot of young boys to use as examples. What rights did they have to do that?
Herbert Burden lied about his age in order to fight in the Great War, swept along by the mesmerising drumbeat of patriotic fervour and national duty. Barely out of school, he responded, along with hordes of others, to the recruitment drive and the promise of honour. The frontline trenches of the Western Front soon revealed the brutal reality behind the propaganda back home. Horribly traumatised by shell fire during the opening salvos of the Battle of the Somme, Herbert broke and ran from his post. He was found hiding close to one of the British assembly lines and was taken away from the front line by military police. That terrified young lad was then locked in a stone cell and then tried for desertion without mercy. Far from his home and his family, Herbert Burden was stood before a firing squad and shot at dawn. He was 17 years old. His grave was left unmarked, but today his name appears on the Great Menin Gate listed among the missing. In 1914, Lord Kitchener's famous proclamation, "Your country needs you," was sounded out to every able-bodied man in Great Britain. No one, including the government, could have predicted the stampede that erupted across the nation in those early days of war in Europe. 2 million men rushed to the recruitment offices and lined up with their mates to join the so-called Great Adventure in France. Many believed that they were marching into glory, completely unaware that they were marching to their graves. This famous cemetery containing lines of headstones is the final resting place for so many of those hopeful volunteers. Not everyone responded to Kitchener's dubious invitation, nor to the order that soon followed as the volunteers became conscripts. Some resisted the order, others signed up but refused to fight. Many who stayed at home were abused in the street by complete strangers. Stories emerged of people painting the word coward on the houses where so-called conscientious objectors were seeking refuge. Thank God that history is kinder today to the objectors, the deserters, and the traumatised than British society was at that time. Those who enlisted were required to swear a solemn oath of allegiance, placing their hand on the Bible. If they'd have been given a moment to open that amazing, timeless book of life, they would have found something very interesting inside. The Bible is full of stories of people who struggled with impossible choices, moral conflicts, and profound personal weakness. Many so-called Bible heroes struggled with fear and self-doubt, and in some situations, a great temptation to run away. You'll also find people who deserted their calling and abandoned their responsibilities due to unbearable pressure. And most of them for far less reason than 17-year-old Herbert Burden, who simply buckled under unimaginable terror. Trench warfare absolutely shattered men physically, emotionally, psychologically, and spiritually, pushing soldiers far beyond human limits.
Why did he desert? Because he had seen something happen. He was afraid. He came out, he volunteered to do something, or even he was conscripted to do it. And he did his best until he was asked to do something that he thought was wrong. Why shoot him?
The Bible's most famous deserter is a fisherman called Peter. Jesus chose him as one of his first disciples. Jesus had done something similar to Lord Kitchener, but perhaps without the coercive poster and the toxic political campaign. Standing beside the Sea of Galilee, he called out to a group of rough, tough fishermen with a simple invitation: come and follow me. Those boys simply dropped their nets, left their fishing boat, and enlisted in a divine mission that was bigger than any of them. Along with his brothers, Peter would then spend the next 3 years seeing the sick healed, the lonely loved, and the hungry fed. That divine mission was to announce the astonishing news that hope existed, forgiveness was possible, and God was within reach. As that 3-year period came to an end, everything went badly wrong for Peter, the man who had sworn loyalty unto death. When the soldiers came to arrest Jesus, Peter was completely overwhelmed with fear, and he denied that he even knew the one that he loved. He chose the easy route to save his own skin because he just couldn't summon up the courage to do the right thing. Sound familiar? Just like Herbert Burden and so many others who fought in the Great War, Peter capitulated when the heat of fear and danger became too intense. People sometimes ask me, where is God and why has he deserted us? But maybe the deeper truth is that we are the deserters and we have deserted him. When Herbert Burden and so many others like him fought and died in the British ranks in the Great War, most of their families back home went to church. Society held tight to the bedrock of Christian faith and the shared ideas of right and wrong, of mercy and of grace. We have drifted far from our Christian heritage, and in its place we have left a vacuum to be filled with confusion, uncertainty, and a deep, profound spiritual hunger.
I feel proud of all the men who died in the wars. You know, I feel it's the right kind of thing. I like to say almost as Sunday. I like to go to church, and I think it is brilliant.
After Jesus had gone to the cross and risen again, he confronted Peter with what he'd done. He forgave him, restored him, and rewound the clock of his life. That's how it works for each one of us. We reach out to God in faith, and he rewrites the story that we thought was ruined forever. In the shadow of war memorials, cemeteries, headstones, and a terrified boy named Herbert Burden, that promise shines as bright as ever. Herbert Burden's story reminds us that behind every uniform is a fragile human heart crying out for hope and security. And behind every human failure, whether it's on a battlefield or in a quiet moment of weakness, stands a Saviour offering us mercy and grace.